Welcome
Let's
to
go.
Monday of Thanksgiving week. So much to be grateful for, unless you're a Jet fan or a Gator fan.
Yeah, well, I mean, or maybe you are very grateful if you're a Gator fan because the Mullen era is over. So there will be no more Dan Mullen in Gainesville, and you'll move on to the next head of the regime. But I don't think it really matters.
Well, I think, what's really cool is that everything we learned from Jake. Look at Gabe, first one in the house.
Dang,
in
love
the
it.
huddle. What we learned from Jake was uncomfortable with what he saw happening there. He knew it long before. This is not something that happened yesterday. This is something that happened for 2 years or more. Jake saw it, understood it. You can't lose the locker room. You can't have guys play half-assed. You can't not recruit. Look at Lori Solarillo coming in
from Marco Island. I love it.
She's living the dream on the West Coast,
love it.
man. Great to see everybody this Monday morning. Hopefully you had time to rest and relax, do a little bit of work, and then crush this week. Make no mistake, we still at it.
So these moments remind me of the minutes at the end of a half, the minutes at the end of a game, the minutes at the end of a quarter. You just steal little plays here and there that change the momentum of the whole game. And that's what, to me, like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday is, or even if it's just Monday, Tuesday for you. Like most people are just cashing it in for the week and saying, I'm going to ride it out and I'll see you on next Monday. You can get 2 days of work in. You could get 3 days of work in that separate you.
And oh, by the way, the grind still includes Saturday and Sunday of next week. Get up, winners work from 5 to 8. You get up early and send out some follow-up. You send out some prospecting shit. You get ahead. There is no time to sleep. So for those of you who are crashing and burning and saying, wow, you can't wait for turkey and you're just going to loaf this week, shame on you. So a couple of shout outs. A shout out to Jake Nudelberg for training and getting it done, man. Look at him.
Yeah, he ran in the Flanagan's rib run yesterday morning. Was it yesterday? Was it Sunday they did or Saturday?
Sunday, yeah. He did it Sunday, yeah.
Yesterday morning, and he did a great job. Ran a great pace. Came in at like 8:30 something was his pace for the race. So ran a fast time and did a great job.
Yeah, I'm super proud of him because I saw the discipline. I saw the practice. And he said that two months ago could not have done this. He ran an 8-minute mile pace, for 6 miles. That's pretty intense.
Did a great job. 10K.
The guys that won it were
ridiculous.
Ran like 4-minute miles.
Correct. It was ridiculous. They were at 4.5 minutes. So it's
look, success leaves clues. Look at Laura. Bang. She's
working from the middle of nowhere in New York. I love it.
Good for her. So Jake, his legs are sore, but we're super, super proud of him. So I'll allow you a moment to talk about Florida State because I think he's got that program.
5-6. They could have folded the season away. And to be fair, like they went up again on Boston College, let them back into the game and had to go. And it's that same story of we're allowing teams to come back, but the most important part is that they're winning. They're learning to win. And so you have a Florida State game that historically has been national contentions for, the championship. But really the only thing that matters about this game, aside from the fact that it's a rivalry, is the fact that both teams need to win to go to a bowl. So we will find out how Greg Knox will do taking over the locker room for a week. And it's a great opportunity for Florida State to get a state championship, beat Miami and Florida for the first time in a long time, and right that ship a little bit.
Yeah, so you set the tone, Dad. I'm against you 2 weeks in a row.
Well, so yesterday started the day, right? We started with the Finns and Jets, and next on Saturday, I said we got 1 week where we are opposed for the week.
Dude, listen to me. Watching that game was just a myriad of penalties and bad plays, and it just is so hard to be a Jet fan. Just right. So I wanted to bring this up. So when you talk about doing your job, Bill Belichick talks about it all the time. Yesterday, there were 18 missed field goals. 18 field goals and extra points. I mean, what the hell is what are you doing, man?
Your job, especially at that level, because you are out quickly. One more note about football before we move on. How about those Alabama quarterbacks? 3-0 this weekend. You had Mac Jones, who had a very outstanding performance on a Thursday night. You had Jalen Hurts, another outstanding performance for Philly. And then, oh, by the way, you had Tua Tagovailoa come back in for the Fins and get a W.
So I'm super psyched. That game next week, I'll be flying back from New York, and I'm on JetBlue, so I get to watch it, which is super, super cool. Let's get to some wake-up music. I got a huge show of content. Let's go. Wake up, everybody! Get up! Get up! Get up! Get up! Wake up! Come on! Come on! Wake up, everybody! It's a new way. Maybe then they'll listen what you have to say. Wake up, everybody! No more sleeping in bed. No more about to thinking, time for thinking ahead. Come on now. I am so impressed that everybody is showing up this morning. We got a big crowd. So I like to, on Mondays, do motivation, somebody, some video, something that's coming out. And we got our man, Dion. Show me Dion. I don't know about you. I want to play for that guy. His post on Facebook and all over Instagram was that the enemy, he calls it the devil, but there is an enemy out there, took his legs. He said, but that's why I got the chair. You know, he goes, you can't stop me from dancing. You can't stop me from being there. And he's just so motivating, such a real life guy that does he get a big time job?
Not this year. No, I don't think so. I mean, well, first of all, the big time jobs that would be the best fit for him would be Florida and the University of Miami. And I think he would light himself on fire before taking either one of those jobs.
There's zero shot he takes the Florida job.
So there's a lot of movement. Will he move from Jackson State? I would say likely. Does he get a Power 5 job? Probably not. But it would be very interesting to see what he would do with a middle tier program. Because, like you said, he's motivating and he understands how to pass that will to do whatever it takes to the people around him, hold people accountable.
He talks about culture. He delivers every single time. So I love that. So I want to talk about the Huddle. We do this. I've done this for basically my whole career, whether I was doing it with my company or I don't know if you remember, I used to go to the bagel bar.
Yeah, of course.
I put people together in the morning. We would get together, huddle, light each other up, and then go about the day. Well, wouldn't you know, on this day in history in 1940, even though it was fictional, the Justice Society met for the first time. Boom.
The first Justice Huddle.
The first Justice Huddle. They were huddling. They were doing it. They were getting together way back in 1940. And so that kind of led me down the path of, all of the superheroes have lots of strengths and weaknesses. Every single one of them has a secret sauce, but every single one of them has a weakness that is clearly defined. They know it. They don't try to make their weakness better. They just become absolutely great at something, which is so in line with how I'm programmed. People say, hey, this guy sucks. Can you make him better? No, I want somebody who, I say, no, I want somebody who's good. I'll make him great. So I thought it'd be kind of cool if we went down the road with some of the superheroes. I got a list of a group of them who have these great sayings. The first one is Black Panther. And listen to this. We all know the truth. More connects us than separates us. But in times of crisis, the wise build bridges while the foolish build barriers. Dude, is that in line with your post this morning?
1,000%. Like, and I'm glad you saw that this morning, and because I had that I like I was literally scrolling through my feed, and I was like, damn, I'm getting so much good from my feed right now. I wanted to share that, and it really is because about the people that I'm surrounding myself with. It becomes, and I think that becomes harder to do, building that bridge in times of crisis or in hard times is really more difficult because it forces you to take yourself out of your feelings, to take yourself out of the circumstance and look objectively and say, how can I build a bridge here to help myself in the future?
Love it, man. How strong is that? I shared your post this morning and already got a lot of love.
Oh, nice.
Great stuff. Spider-Man, the famous one, with great power comes great responsibility. We have the tools. The tools are very powerful. Use it responsibly. Don't waste it to land on someone's plate and look like a freaking jackass.
Yeah, I love that. I have nothing else to say to that. It's perfect.
Done. Couple more here. The Flash, which was actually one of my favorite characters. Life doesn't give us purpose. We give life purpose.
I love that. Can I go on Charles Xavier's?
Yes, please.
Just because someone stumbles and loses their path doesn't mean they're lost forever. I think that is the best in not losing hope in people and not losing hope in yourself, and knowing that how you handle adversity, how you help people handle adversity can only help people get better no matter what the circumstances are.
You want to do one more? You want to throw one more up? I mean, there's 12.
No, go ahead.
That I have. So here's one more that I think is really cool. Wolverine, gotta love it. Fill your heart with better memories, better actions, and better friends. That's all any of us can do.
I love it.
Wow, superheroes nailing it. And then finally, Batman, who we could have a whole show on the
just on Batman.
Right, maybe that's what Batman is all about. Not winning, but failing and getting back up, knowing he'll fail 1,000 times, but still won't give up.
The hero that Gotham needs.
We all are superheroes. Figure out your secret sauce. Figure out that one thing that you do better than anybody else. Get great at it, and your life will change. So there you have it. So you know what? I'm going to switch gears and go right into motivational music on this day. November 22nd in 1975. This was the #1 hit, and it is kick-ass for this week. Little Casey.
Groovin'.
And I remember meeting Harry Casey, which is his name, right? Like the guy sitting next to me. And I said, what do you do? He goes, oh, I started this band and we're doing some stuff. And then I sponsored a concert with Y100, a street festival. And I said, oh my God, I know that dude. He's a Hollywood guy, man. I just saw him hanging around, So really, really super cool. But what it reminded me of is we have control of what we like. Yeah. You can bring the things you like. That's the way I like it. Make your life the way you want it. You have control of that. So interestingly enough, on this date in 1941, the U.S. Food and Drug Administration specified the first minimum daily requirements for your diet. So they said vitamin A, vitamin C, vitamin D, thiamine, riboflavin, calcium, iron, iodine, and phosphorus were things that you needed to take in minimum. That was your minimum daily intake. So wouldn't you know that years ago?
Is it in the book? I gotta know. Is it?
Not in the book. It's not in the book.
It is in the one sheeter.
But it is in the one sheeter. So I created this for my team like 100 years ago. So when I saw that, was doing research, I saw that, I said, I'm bringing this to the party, because I said, you can control your daily intake, the recommended daily allowance of 10 things. Do you have the list?
I do have the list.
Blast off, go.
You want me to go with first? So the first one is optimism. To be the most effective, best ever version of you, you have to start with the right attitude. The attitude is built on optimism. Your recommended daily allowance is the maximum dosage available. Boom, boom, boom.
Gratitude. Optimism is more potent when it is taken with a huge dose of gratitude. This is I love this. This is the week where we're grateful. How stupid is that? You should be grateful every day.
Should be every single day. So, and I like that you added this to the list, adversity, because if there is no adversity, there is no growth. There must be challenges. There must be obstacles. So gotta love that you got to have your daily dose of adversity.
I noticed that was high on the list, man. Adversity, welcome it, bring it on. Where is it? I got to find it, sniff it out. Number 4, persistence. So, that works for you and against you. I've been known to be a persistent guy, but the other side of that is I know when to let go. I want to cut bait. So I love persistence.
The next, I think, is probably my favorite, is education. And you have to be every day looking for ways to educate yourself. And that was kind of my point about my post today, was like, my timeline is this mixture of things that make me feel good, right? I'm getting like daily doses of what's happening in other people's lives that are good, but also there's either something that somebody is teaching right there in a post, or gets me intrigued enough to go, all right, I'm going down the rabbit hole. And then I go to Google and I start finding out all that information. So like people are like, oh, you got to stop scrolling. You're wasting your time. I'm not. Every time I'm scrolling on LinkedIn, I'm getting so much benefit from what's happening on my feed.
I'm going to go blast out the last 5 because today, another milestone, not a great one. JFK was assassinated, and I want to talk about JFK and 3 leadership skills. So the last 5, generosity, passion. By the way, passion equals energy. That's what people buy. Sorry. Forget about your product or service. They can buy it from somebody else. Humor. Don't take ourselves too seriously. I posted that picture with the Mickey Mouse ears. Berserk. People don't know why, because I made myself look like a jerk. Who cares? I mean, I don't wear hats to begin with, but when you talk about those ears and my ears, man,
Ear competition.
It was terrible, man. Compassion and imagination. And that is your list of daily vitamins, your daily allowance that you should do. So let's get into our man JFK. Let me find my notes here for a second. So like I said, in 1963, JFK was assassinated by Lee Harvey Oswald.
Or was he?
Huh?
Or was he?
Oh, who knows? It might have been Keith Hernandez.
If for those of you who don't get the reference, that was a Seinfeld reference.
So I'm having so much fun today. I knew this show was going to be just chock full of great content. But when you look at JFK, he goes down as one of the greatest presidents ever, regardless of what party you subscribe to. He was a real thought leader. He was a real ladies' man, so he had charisma and all of those things. But there were 3 definitive things, lessons, leadership lessons that came from the history of JFK. And I was a history buff in high school and in college. I loved studying him and whatever. And so number one, adapt to the times. Could you be any more relevant? We're talking about 1963 is when this man unfortunately left the earth. We're talking about, all these years later. And he's saying when he ran for president, Kennedy faced Richard Nixon, right? He pointed out that he wanted to do a debate. It was the first time that there was really a live TV debate. It was adapted.
He understood how to use technology.
Like how to use technology.
TV was this new medium that he was like, oh, wait a minute, I can leverage this to really show everybody the difference between Nixon and I, and he won.
So I love that. I just love that you could take that lesson away. And if you learn anything else from us, the toolbox changed.
Yep.
You got to change with it. There's so many people who are dug in. I see so much on LinkedIn that is about cold calling that the temptation is to get in a fight, but I don't want to do that because I have compassion too. Number two, know your impact. Mark, talk to me about know your impact.
Yeah, I mean, so obviously being the president and what he did, but going through the Cuban Missile Crisis and understanding that if he was willing to pull the trigger and go into this war, the ripple effect that it would have all the way down the line. And even though he got, ridiculed for it, and there was a lot of negative that came from what had happened with the Cuban Missile Crisis, he was not willing to make a decision that he wasn't comfortable with because of the impact that it was going to have years down the road and the can of worms that it would open for people. So understanding the impact that you have, not just on your life, but on the people around you and everybody that can, have an effect from it. You got to understand the impact that you make because that goes into the weight of a decision.
Totally. Absolutely. And then finally, we talk about setting stretch goals. And I'm just going to read it because it's too good. Leaders inspire their followers to go beyond what they thought they could do. It's the purpose of a coach. Leading, showing you, I'll make you the best version of you. In 1962, JFK said, we choose to go to the moon in this decade and to do other things, not because they're easy, but because they're hard. And he set the ultimate stretch goal by, setting all those things. See the highlights of all of the things he's done. So on this day, we celebrate him as a leader and somebody that set the tone for all of us to follow. So what a cool Monday morning.
We have to reference the quote, right? Ask not what you can do, or ask not what your country can do for you, but ask what you can do for your country. Like I talk about it all the time. There's no I in team, but there is an I in win. And it's the individual responsibility to do what you have to do for yourself and for others. So take the individual responsibility, honor JFK today. Let's go. Greg
Goldstein throws it out there. This is great content for a LinkedIn post. We saw many of you do the Mickey Mouse stuff. Great. Speak to your audience. Today, we gave you tons of stuff, daily allowance. We gave you the Justice League. We gave you JFK. No reason why everybody in here shouldn't be posting. And one final shout out to our friend, Todd Pearson, who is here almost every day. I think he's been here every day since we met and had our virtual coffee. He has joined the On the Ball team. He will be our newest client starting January 1st. So thank you for your support. And we're excited to work with you and do great things. This is all about, Mark, what is it about? Getting
on the ball
and 1% better every day. See you tomorrow. We have a special guest tomorrow. The new mayor of Broward County, Michael Udine, live and in charge. You'll be able to ask questions. For me, my number one question is, what the hell does a mayor do?
I don't know if this is a good idea. Let's get down to business. Oh, God.
Please don't worry about me. I'm about to let my heart speak. My friends keep telling me to leave this. So let's get down to business. Let's get down to business. Give you one more night to get this. We found